Greetings and welcome to the wonders that only exist in this moment. Thank you for joining us at Unity Chicago South today. Let us center ourselves. Just for today, we will keep our minds filled with possibilities, not obstacles. We will keep our conversations filled with the good we deserve and watch this goodness engulf us. Just for today, nothing will be impossible. I'm Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilson-Coleman, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Today, we're celebrating the spiritual principle order. My message is intended to be a message of hope and one that will inspire you to rethink what is possible for your life. Once upon a time, there was an old woman, blind and wise. The woman lives alone in a small house outside of town. Her reputation for wisdom is without question. The honor she is paid and the awe in which she is held reach beyond her neighborhood to places far away, to the city, where the intuition of rural prophets is the source of much entertainment. One day, the woman is visited by some young people determined to prove she was foolish, a fraud. They enter her house and they ask one question. The answer, they believe, depends solely on the ability to see. They view her profound disability, her blindness, as a hindrance. To them, the presence of physical sight is key to success. They stand before her and one of them says, old woman, I have in my hand a bird. Tell me whether it is living or dead. When she doesn't answer, the question is repeated. Is the bird I'm holding living or dead? Still, she does not answer. Because of her blindness, she cannot see her visitors or what is in their hands. Because of her intuition, her wisdom sees their motive. After a prolonged silence, the young people begin to laugh uncontrollably, and finally she speaks. She says, I don't know. I don't know whether the bird you're holding is dead or alive, but what I do know is that it is in your hands. So the question is, what do we do to live a life worth living? This month, Reverend R. Ken reminded us the infinite source of the universe is the source within each of us. Reverend R. Ken also reminded us that we must put ourselves in unison with the divine order by ensuring our actions are in harmony with the universe. As we live our lives, we forget that in the most beautiful and the most horrific experiences, there is divine order. We just must look more closely. In August 1961, Unity published Divine Order Includes Mind, Body, and Affairs. So let's start with mind. Divine order in our mind means that we are centered and poised in God. It means that our mind is free from doubt and fear, that our mind is clear and uncluttered by regrets or the past or doubts for the future. The mind is the starting point of every act and thought and feeling. It is the seat of perception. So how do we live our lives using the principle of divine order? We start by centering ourselves. In some of my coaching sessions, often clients are fixated on something that caused them harm or hurt. When I ask when this occurred, I'm often surprised that the events occurred years ago. Because there is a 100% guarantee that we all transition, we must find the good in it all. Make sure you live your life enjoying the present moment and not giving your now time to old issues. To live in the moment, start each day spending a few minutes in silence. You can focus on your breath. You can focus on nature. The aim is to be present so you can commune with the divine presence. Getting started is easy. However, staying on track can prove to be difficult. So in order to stay on track, you'll need to create a system to remind yourself to be present. I use an hourly alarm on my cell phone as a reminder for me to sit still for 2 minutes every hour to allow myself to be present in the moment where all the possibilities exist. Then there are our thoughts. When you find yourself ruminating about an issue from the past or worrying about the future, shift your focus back to the present and think about what's good about this moment. People visited a wise man complaining about the same problems over and over and over again. One day he decided to tell them a joke, and they all roared with laughter. After a few minutes, he told them the same joke, and only a few of them smiled. And then he told the same joke for a third time, but no one laughed or smiled anymore. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over, so why are you always crying about the same problem?" Learn to enjoy being where you are, whether you are stuck in traffic, waiting in line. Use this time to enjoy this moment, to enjoy your surroundings, to appreciate the fact that you are alive. Research has proven that mindfulness is a great way to improve your health. It also has many mental health benefits. Mindfulness has been defined as a restorative meditation practice that will help you live in the present moment while improving overall wellness. A few of its benefits are: the practice of mindfulness meditation can improve working memory. It can increase your focus. It produces better moods, reduces your stress. It causes you to have less rumination, and it helps you to create stronger relationships. 1 Corinthians 14th chapter 40th verse reminds us, "But all things must be done properly and in an orderly manner." Jay Ashner says you can't go back to how things were or how you thought they were. All you have is now. By staying in the moment and detaching from old beliefs and experiences, you will become open to your unlimited self. You see, life is about moments, experiences, relationships. And to fully appreciate life, you must strive to be fully present. The present is where the miracles are. The present is where the magic is. TruthUnity.net says the divine idea of order is the idea of adjustment. And as this is established in man's thought, his mind and affairs will be at one with the universal harmony. Now that we have explored ways to center our minds in divine order, let us explore how we can center our affairs in divine order. We live in a busy world. We consume massive amounts of information and data. We create nauseating, never-ending to-do lists, at least I do. And by the time we're 65, we would have watched 9 years worth of television. In an effort to achieve our goals and become financially stable, we often sacrifice sleep, healthy eating habits, relationships, and we only meditate when we can find time. Unity reminds us that divine order in our affairs means that all that needs to be done by us is done easily and well. Divine order means that there is a time for all things. There is a time for work, a time for rest, a time for joy, a time for family, a time for friends. Divine order in our affairs means perfect balance. It means the supply of every needed good. It means successful completion of every venture. But in other words, plan for the future, but don't live there. So how do we plan our affairs, our future, and live our life one moment at a time? You must create a strategy and take action. Here are some steps recommended by Deb Patel that I use in my daily life. Create a distraction-free zone. Establish an environment where you will not be preoccupied, and have a list outlining what you want to accomplish. While in this zone, do not allow any distractions. Keep your focus on what you need to accomplish. Because the human brain is able to maintain its focus for approximately 90 minutes, set no more than 3 main objectives every day. When you set 3 clearly defined objectives a day, you can clearly define the work you need to do. Every morning, ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things to accomplish today? If anything else crops up, place them on another list, but do not work on that list until your original list has been completed. Avoid establishing long times for completion of your task also. The mind will feel the time available, so set a short period of time to complete your task. Setting a hard deadline will help you avoid distractions. Amit Ray reminds us, if you want to conquer the anxiety of life, live in the moment, live in the breath. Rob Bell reminds us in Walk, Don't Run. He says, walk, don't run. That's it. Walk, don't run. Slow down, breathe deeply, and open your eyes, because there's a whole world right here within this one. The bush doesn't suddenly catch on fire. It's been burning the whole time. Moses is simply moving slowly enough to see it. And when he does, he takes off his sandals. Not because the ground has suddenly become holy, but because he's just now becoming aware that the ground has been holy the whole time. Efficiency is not God's highest goal for your life, neither is busyness, or how many things you can get done in one day, or speed, or even success. But walking, which leads to seeing, now that's something. That's the invitation for every one of us today and every day, in every conversation, interaction, event, and moment, to walk, not run. And in doing so, to see the whole world right here within this one. Edward Carpenter says, let your mind be quiet, realizing the beauty of the world and the immense, the boundless treasure that it holds in store. All that you have within you, all that your heart desires, all that your nature so specifically fits for you, that or the counterpart of it waits embedded in the great whole for you. It will surely come to you. Now the old lady also says, as the young men begin to leave, you hold in your hands divine order of your mind and of your affairs. And that is the key to success. Just for today, I will trust that power greater than myself to guide and direct my steps. I will seek out the things that make my soul smile and take time to appreciate the beauty that surrounds me. I will believe that just for today, that the universal power is working to shape my world in ways that I cannot begin to imagine. Just for today, I will not be separated from God. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishment, the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Trust your greatness. Namaste.